Hey, I'm Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co, and today I'm reviewing the expansion for Pirates of Maracaibo, Commanders. Commanders adds a new thing to the game. Shockingly enough, they are commanders. It adds a few more things around those, but the core concept of what this game has, it has a whole new deck of, well, not really deck, a bunch of cardboard tokens of a variety of commanders. These commanders all come into play with a core ability. We'll explain more about those soon, but just to give you one example of one that will just make sense very quickly, let's find my favorite easy to explain one. This commander over here, we have Victor Vile. When you use Victor Vile, you can simply count it as 7 rating strength. He always has 7 rating strength. You don't need to roll the dice, you just have 7 rating power. That's his commander. By the way, this is a good time to note, if you don't know how to play Pirates of Maracaibo, you should probably do that first because this review will not make sense. I am assuming you know how to play Pirates of Maracaibo. There you have it. These are the commanders you have. Now you may have noticed there's a bunch more things going on this board, and in fact when you take a commander, you actually take the reverse side of another commander, and you have all these tokens over here, of all these abilities you're going to activate, but in order to do that, you need to know more about the general structure of what else is added to the game. So, what else do we have? First of all, we have more cards. We have new cards added to the game, a bunch of new cards that will interact with the various new elements. There's going to be some added to the Age 1 deck, and a whole lot added to the Stage 2 deck. So again, we got more cards to augment the game along with those commanders. But the two new things it adds fortresses over here, as well as rum. Fortresses and rum are going to be the new mechanics that are added, because when you look at a commander, let's go ahead and remove this board for a second, we'll come back to it soon. When you look at a commander and the reverse side of another commander, we have all these various abilities. Red abilities are ongoing infinite abilities. These are always in play. You start with this one, you could choose to unlock that one. Other abilities, we have endgame abilities, and then we have instant abilities. And those you have to earn through either the barrels of rum or alternatively through fortresses. So, barrels of rum are something you can get during the game in a variety of different ways, but the main way is you're going to be adding these tokens to some of the location cards, similar to the black market tokens in the game, and when you land on a token like this, you're visiting a rum market. You can either pay 3 doubloons for a barrel of rum, or you can take a barrel of rum and put it onto one of your spots if you've already bought it, which means it effectively takes 2 visits to a rum market to get a barrel of rum at a cost of 3 coins, and then put it onto one of your cards into one of the locations that takes rum, which is this location, and then this location over here, which can take fortress or a rum. So let's say we get 2 rum over here. Once we put the second one there, we unlock that center ability. Look at that, we get a free buried treasure action. As you add more of these tokens, you're going to be earning the one-time abilities for each spot on the board. There's 6 spots, 2 over here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. And then whenever you have multiple tokens, you earn multiple things from them. So again, these tokens would each independently earn you this spot, and then together they would earn you this spot. And when you have all 4, you would earn that center spot for 10 points over there. It's worth noting, by the way, that these are also going to be different, having different combinations of rewards and bonuses on the backs of different commanders. So we need this rum, and we need the rum, and we need the fortresses. Rum you're primarily getting through these over here, although some cards, I don't know if any of these have any rum tokens on them. I mean, there are in the game, I just don't know if I grabbed any. Here we go, that's another rum market spot. So you have a variety of areas and cards you can take that will let you visit a rum market outside of just visiting them on the board. And then you also have fortresses that will go on locations. So those location cards in the game, those spots where you go and you get an upgrade cube for your ship, you also put fortresses on those, as well as in a few other places, including on this exploration board over here, which is going to be a new element in the game. You're going to put these on certain spots and plays an opportunity to attack a fortress when they get to that spot. But in order to do so, you'll need cannons. You'll see there are cannon spots on these upgrade boards, as well as cannons on some of these cards over here. So we got a cannon spot on that card. This card has 2 cannons over here. You can earn cannons, which cannons are you taking an upgrade cube from your ship and then replacing it with a cylinder, which represents a cannon. Your strength to attack a fortress is equal to the number of cannons you have plus a die roll. You'll go ahead and do your 3 dice, similar to a raiding action, and then you'll add that together. In this case, this fortress has a strength of 7, so let's say we had 3 built-in cannons, we'd only need at least 1 of the dice to be a 4, and then we would take that die and slot it onto our board over here. If we use a yellow die, we can place it onto the yellow spot, and we can earn the bonus over here, and then once we place a rum over here, we could earn that combination of bonuses. So again, to kind of sum that up over here, we have commanders. Commanders need fortresses and rum in order to activate activate their variety of bonuses, although you do start with one pretty strong ability, honestly the coolest ability you get from the get-go. You're going to be able to earn rum from moving along the Caribbean over here, just taking various spots and landing on those areas, as well as a variety of other areas on the board, including on this board over here, including on cards, that will give you access to rum markets. And then fortresses you can get on here, on the seaboard, as well as when you get to Maracaibo at the very end over here. There's also going to be spots where you can go ahead and attack fortresses. You're going to have a number of fortresses, depending on the player count over here, that players can attack as a very final action over here, allowing them to place them onto the board. So that's basically what you have going on. Oh, and the last thing I guess we should talk about it, we showed you it, but we didn't talk about it, is going to be this board over here. We have this reversible board giving you 4 different combinations of ways to build out that final board, which means if you were always thinking, gosh darn it, I wish that final board in Maracaibo was actually the Explorer board. I wish that Explorer board was variable and different game to game. Well, congratulations, it's now variable and different game to game. There are 4 different combinations of this board, giving you access to the new things, so you do need to be playing with the new mechanics, but also giving you variability on the Explorer board when previously it was fairly static. And with that, let's go into my review, and when I'm done with the review, I will show you all the abilities, because honestly, I think the abilities are pretty cool, so I'll talk about the abilities at the end, but let's talk about my opinion of the game. I'm a huge fan of Pirates of Maracaibo. I give it a 5 out of 5. It's one of only 2 5 out of 5s I've given out this year so far, but I love it. I have so much fun when I play it. I cannot recommend it enough. I think it's just a phenomenally good time. Pirates of Maracaibo Commanders is just good content added to the game, and I don't think I'd ever play without it, even though I don't always integrate, not integrate is the wrong word. I don't always interact with all the elements of the expansion. But at the very least, you're going to be starting off with a commander. A commander who gives you a cool ability that's going to give you a degree of asymmetry to the game, giving you tons of commanders, giving you a kind of a pathway forward as far as how you're going to try to approach this game of Pirates of Maracaibo. So the commanders are an easy addition to the game that already just elevates the gaming experience. This new Explorer board, again, it gives you variability to the Explorer board. It is something that's nice to have, that changing it up. So when you play Pirates of Maracaibo, it takes 4 games before you've gotten back to square one, and you have to start repeating, seeing the same combination. So again, that's just nice to have. The rum over here, as well as the fortresses, on their own, I honestly don't really care for these elements. They don't really enhance the game for me. The way these elements do work, because again, like these fortresses over here, they do give you points as well, but the reason I like these is because of the way they interact with your commanders. On their own, they're kind of boring, but with the commander, they unlock various abilities over here, and so now you have a choice as to, do you want that card, do you want the location, where are you going to probably put your energy. Trying to get all the abilities on a commander, if you're able to actually go ahead and get all of them, can have a really strong payoff. And so the rum and the fortress on their own I don't care for, but the way they interact with the systems that have been added, those are nice to have. On its own though, the one downside is it does force you to often choose more areas. Like on the one hand, you have a new cool ability that can open up the doors a little bit. On the other hand, you are choosing between more things going on because your energy has to go towards all the things you were chasing in the original game, but now you have to chase those rum barrels as well as those fortresses, so it kind of pulls your attention but rewards you for doing so. Overall, I like this expansion. The abilities, which I'll get to all of them soon, I'll explain more as to why I like these, but I don't think I would ever play without them, because you could ignore, like if you want, you could just go ahead and play, keep your starting ability, and then never interact with any of these other elements the rest of the game. You could just ignore them, and now you're playing Pirates of Maracaibo with a new cool starting ability. Which, by the way, the first time I played this game, I think that's pretty much what I did. I got like maybe 1 rum barrel, didn't touch a single fortress, so you could choose to ignore the new elements, or you could choose to engage with them, and that's kind of up to you, the player, to decide how you want to do that. Rating-wise on this, I'm going to come in at a 4 out of 5. Regular reminder that I do not rate expansions based off of my overall opinion of the full experience. I rate expansions based on how much I think they added to the game and how good they are in that sense. Pirates of Maracaibo, it's a 5 out of 5 game for me. The expansion only makes that game better. But as far as the expansion goes, it's a 4 out of 5. It's a nice to have additional commanders. I think there could be more things that are added, more cool stuff, but it's good. I definitely recommend it if you like Pirates of Maracaibo. Which brings us to going over the commanders. Over here we have this commander is going to give you an additional explorer, and you can move multiple explorers, splitting your movement as you move on this board. So if you really want to lean into strong powers, like there was one game of Pirates of Maracaibo where I had like +6 to every explorer movement, which was great, but the problem is then a few explorer movements later, you're at the end and it kind of caps it out. Do that with this commander, and you can move twice as much with this board, counting all the benefits, including crossing the streams. This commander over here lets you put your upgrade cubes in any order, ignoring the normal restriction around, 2, then 4, or 6, or whatever it is, then whatever, all going through that. You can put these out in any order you want, which completely breaks the game. Over here, you can choose to bury your treasure directly on these spots as you acquire them, gaining money or points for that treasure and getting that early on in the game. So you have a fun little ability there, a new way to take treasure. That guaranteed 7 strength is going to be just a quick, solid way to deal with raiding. This command over here lets you draw 3 figureheads for your ship from the beginning of the game and immediately pick one of them. And yes, you can still get another one as the game progresses. You can have 2 figureheads, whole new way to break the game. This command over here gives you a discount of 4 whenever you are buying a ship card. So those ships, which are pretty cool and awesome, you have a discount of 4 directly to go ahead and get those. Over here, you can give up explorer movement and you can apply your raider strength in order to get more cannons. So this player is going to quickly power up, getting a lot of cannons very fast. Over here, you take your lowest die and then you add 5 to that. So if you pick the lowest die, you get 5 to the strength. If she rolls high, you get a ton of raiding strength, and if she rolls low, you have that mitigated. Over here, you can choose whenever you move your ship 1 to 2 spaces instead of 3, you get to take a run barrel, and you could use your run barrels as well to get a discount on 3 on cards. So if you're someone who really likes exploring the full Caribbean in this game, this is a good character for you because you get rewarded for not taking the full 3 movement. Over here, you get a new special black market token you're going to put out that you can immediately get a quest whenever you land in it, again giving you just more ways to get your hands on quests. And then over here we have another special black market token, this one giving you either 7 money or 5 points whenever you land in it. And then lastly we have over here, she gets the bottom reward of a quest, the one that's worth more points, as long as she fulfills the top section of the quest. So as long as you fulfill the top, you get the bottom. You can go heavy on quests with this character. I think this is the first character I played the Commanders expansion. When I first played Pirates of Maracaibo Commanders, this is the first character. I went heavy on this, just getting quest after quest after quest. Incredibly powerful, which also I should note, the one criticism I will, not really criticism, but thing to be mindful of, I can't comment on whether these player abilities are balanced. I can't comment on that at all. I have not even played with all of them yet. I've played with most of them, either myself or against, but I can't comment on character balance for the commanders. So let's just take that as far as I have no idea. And I say that because this one's pretty awesome, but then again, so is upgrading your character out of order. They're all pretty awesome in their own different game-breaking ways. In any case, until next time, I hope you found this review helpful. This is a review of Pirates of Maracaibo Commanders, a great addition to Pirates of Maracaibo that I definitely recommend if you like the game. Until next time, I'm Alex Radical from Board Game Co., and as always, I hope you have a good one.